Hello, this is Mila from PMP Nation. Today we will cover project management overview. And again, this is a summary from the PMBOK Guide 6th edition from the PMI. What is a project? A temporary endeavor taken to create a unique product, service, or result with a clearly defined beginning and end. Those in bold are points to remember. They were actually helpful when I was preparing for taking the PMP exam myself. I prepared the slides and then I went through them, and towards the end, I re-reviewed the slides, especially those in bold or in red. And I hope that they will be just as full to you as well. All right, so back to the words in bold. So project has to be unique and clearly defined with that beginning and end. Okay. Projects enable business value or benefits creation for the organization and stakeholders. No two projects are identical. Project managers must tailor, again, tailor is the key word. Project managers must tailor their approach to meet unique situations. So every project has to be tailor-made. There are 4 project creation criteria to satisfy stakeholder requests or needs, to create, improve, or fix products, processes, or services, to implement or change business or technological strategies, and last, to meet regulatory, legal, or social requirements. Here on the right side, we are covering business document. After identifying the need for a project, which is one of these 4, a business case and benefits management plan are developed to evaluate the economic feasibility of a potential project. And here are more details of what a business case is and what a project benefits management plan is. The bottom line is that business case is more about cost-benefit analysis, where the project team actually decide to go or no-go the project. And project benefits management plan is more about the details of how and when project benefits, whether they're tangible or intangible, will be measured and delivered, right? And these 2 business documents are source inputs that will be fed directly into develop project charter. 4.1. 4.1 is just the chapter in PMBOK that specifically covers develop project charter. Speaking of inputs, remember in our previous session, we talk about ITO, which is inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. So these 2 business documents are inputs for the next process, which is develop project charter. All right, more about project charter. It is a foundational document that's formally authorizing the project's existence. Foundational and authorizing. Those are the 2 keywords about project charter. Project manager can allocate resources to a project once the project charter is authorized. It is developed by the project sponsor, often assisted by the project manager. But in reality, the project manager usually the one that also develops the project charter, but according to PMBOK, it's supposed to be the project sponsor's responsibility. All right. Another point to remember here is that project charter never changes. Other project documents can change, and there will be a formal change procedures, but project charter, once set, it will never changes. Okay. And then next is project management plan. It translates the project charter into actionable plans for how the project will be planned, executed, monitored, and controlled. There are 18 subsidiary plans under the project management plan. And it is recommended to memorize them. Actually, once you memorize the 10 knowledge areas, you will actually remember easily the 10 subsidiary plans, and then you'll just have to start memorizing from number 11 to 18 here, which starts from change management plan, configuration management plan, and then the next 3 baselines are easy to remember because they're the iron triangle for scope, schedule, and cost. And then there is performance measurement baseline as well, project lifecycle description, and development approach. We will cover each one of these in greater details in future sections. Okay. Project success measures. Answer 3 questions. What does success look like? How will success be measured? And what factors impact success? And here we have a workflow of project management data and information, and this will actually show up frequently while we're covering the executing and monitoring and controlling stages or process groups. It starts with work performance data, which contain raw observations and measurements. And then this data will be analyzed to become work performance information that will be further organized or summarized into work performance reports. So we start from data, information, and then reports at the end. Project versus operations management. Those two are clearly different in that operations management is all about ongoing operation of existing production, while project management is about short-term efforts to achieve defined goals. Remember, project has clearly defined beginning and end, right? While operation is more about BAU, business as usual activities. Project, program, and portfolio. Here on the right side, you'll see the structure from portfolio being at the very top. And then it has programs and also projects underneath it. Projects are grouped into programs and portfolios. Portfolio managers have the highest level of oversight and direction. Portfolio management is to select the right programs or projects. A portfolio manager might be responsible for managing one or several programs and individual projects. So just according to the structure here. And program managers are closer to the projects than portfolio managers, but they are not managing the individual project work. Okay, remember, program managers do not handle projects. They just oversee the projects and making sure that there are enough resources across projects, and they are also responsible for assisting and resolving issues and providing guidance. Program management is to ensure projects are completed the right way. So that's the difference between portfolio management. Portfolio management is to select the right programs, while program management is to make sure that projects are completed the right way. Now we're moving on to EEFs and OPAs, which we also mentioned while covering the introduction to knowledge area. EAFs are enterprise environmental factors, and OPAs are organizational process assets. And here are examples of EEFs. It's divided into two, external and internal. External EEFs are, for example, market conditions, legal restrictions, exchange rates, interest rates, tariffs, while internal EEFs consist of organizational culture that was actually quite news for me while I was studying, because I tend to think or get confused of, oh, maybe, organizational culture is more about OPAs because it's internal, but no, internal can also be under EEFs. And these are things for factors that are outside of the project team's control, because the project team can control the company's culture and also geographic distribution of facilities or resources and established IT software. Established IT software is usually purchased from a different entity or company, unless it's actually produced by the company itself, and that is actually part of the project, building a software. But if this is just purchase software, so it becomes an EEF. And here on the right side, so we have OPAs, which are mainly about documents, so processes, policies, procedures, and also corporate knowledge base. All right, then the second one is more about repeating of what we previously covered, that says no two projects are identical. Project managers must tailor their approach to meet unique situations. Okay, moving on to organizational structures. There are things that we need to remember by heart for the exam, such as the knowledge areas and process groups table. Also, there will be another one that will be covered just in the next slide, but this one's also important to memorize. And if it's too much to memorize everything by heart, just remember the two columns, and I'm sorry if it's covered by my picture here. Just remember the columns for project management, project manager's authority, and budget. So here on the left side, we have the organizational structure types, from organic or simple, functional or centralized, multi-divisional, matrix, strong, weak, balanced, project-oriented, virtual, hybrid, and PMO. And just remember the project manager's authority and who manages the project budget. The functional manager, the project manager, or mixed. So remember to consider the type of organization, the one on the left column here, when exam questions ask you to suggest the most appropriate action of a project manager. The most appropriate action a project manager should take in a given situation. And to help you remember, there are similar structures such as functional and matrix weak. Functional over here. So let's see, the project manager's authority is little or none. It's similar to matrix weak, which is low. And the same with who manages the project budget. For functional, it is the functional manager, and that's the same as well for matrix weak. The other similar structures are project-oriented, PMO, and matrix strong. So let's say here, the project-oriented project manager's authority is high to almost total, and that is the same as the PMO which is actually that's really the same to the PMO project manager's authority, and also matrix strong, which is over here. It's moderate to high. But if it's easier, it's also safe to just remember high. And who manages the project budget? It's the project manager for all those three structures. Okay, so just by actually grouping those with similar structures, you already cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 organizational structures, and you just need to kind of briefly look at the other ones. But if you can remember these 5, you should be in a good shape for the exam. All right, next is about Project Management Office, PMO, and we have 3 types of PMO: supportive, controlling, and directive. Supportive has the lowest control. The role is just to provide training, templates, best practices, and lesson learned. So it's more about, it's like a library, while controlling's got medium level of control. And the PMO here defines specific frameworks and methods to use. Last directive has the highest control over project, and the PMO, the project managers are assigned to and report to the PMO. So the PMO is really involved in the projects at the directive level, okay? And next we have project roles, which I'm sure you are familiar with. So I will not actually read one by one. Feel free to pause the video or take a screenshot, but there are roles for portfolio managers, program managers, project sponsor, project manager, project coordinators, stakeholders, and functional managers. All right, here in red, we have a question. Who coordinates, manages, and controls projects, programs, and portfolio in a uniform, consistent effort to deliver better? OPM, or Organizational Project Management. All right, next is the other thing I said before as one of the things for you to remember by heart. So we have the knowledge areas and process groups table. We also covered the organizational structures. And here we have leadership styles that please remember by heart, okay? We have 6 styles. The first one is laissez-faire. It's a very hands-off approach. So the project manager doesn't really do anything. It's more about the team that's making their own decisions. Well, yeah, the project manager probably gives advice, but only by request. The second one is the one that is actually the most popular, especially in agile projects. It is the servant leadership. The project managers focus on putting others' needs first and also on relationships and development. Lean methodologies often adopt this style, or also agile projects. Next is charismatic. It's for project managers with high levels of energy, confidence, and strong convictions. And we have transactional leadership style. And for you to remember easily, just remember transactional is related to facts and results, analytical and data-driven. It's also called management by exception. Transformational are project managers that are inspiring and empowering. They focus on innovation and experimentation. So transformational, innovation, experimentation. Last is interactional. It is the combination of transactional, transformational, and correspondent. Okay, and on the left side, we have the PMI talent triangle for project managers for competencies. They are technical project management, leadership, and strategic and business management. So those are the competencies that a project manager must have. Moving on to project lifecycle and phase. Project lifecycle is the total time required to complete a project. Project can have multiple phases. Each phase is designed to deliver certain deliverables, and each phase uses all the process groups. So we have project on the very top and then broken down to phases and process groups. At the end of each phase, there are phase gate reviews or stage gate or kill points to analyze the progress. Okay, so they're like milestones. Product lifecycle is not the same as project lifecycle. Product is about total product life or the concept of retirement in product development, while project is has the defined length of the project. Again, remember, project has defined beginning and end. A product, though, or a product creation can be what the project is created for, but those two are different things, okay? Especially about the life cycles. Here on the right side, we have the project lifecycle management approaches. We have predictive, or also known as waterfall, and traditional. And this is more about old school projects. And we have adaptive or agile projects and iterative. The difference is in how or when scope, time, and cost, the iron triangle, are defined and managed. All right, that's all about project management overview. We will cover in greater details in our next sessions. The following session will be about process group 1, the first process group, which is initiating, and it has 2 processes within it, so it will be quick. And I'm also aware that you might be used to learning by knowledge areas instead of process groups, and that is fine. So this will be another way of looking at the processes. And I look forward to sharing more in the next session. Until then, thank you.